Rookie sensation Caitlin Clark capped off the Indiana Fever's home finale with a bang as she broke the WNBA's rookie singles season scoring record. And she's had quite the impact on this team, as actually the Fever clinched a playoff spot for the first time since 2016 and officially clinched the 6th seed.
Picture this: a rising star and a seasoned veteran. One is breaking records left and right, while the other is finally watching her team rise from the ashes. Now, imagine them on the same team, in the same game, making history. That's exactly what happened when Caitlin Clark and
You've been turning this thing around as a team this season. As a coach, how reassuring or significant has it been to have that backcourt of Kelsey and Caitlin who can kind of score at will and get you through some lulls or whatever you deal with throughout a season?
Yeah, man, they're special. I mean, those two right there can hit such big shots.
Kelsey Mitchell took the court against the Dallas Wings on September 15. Even more astonishing, their partnership isn't just transforming their careers, it's reshaping the entire Indiana Fever franchise and the WNBA itself. Wondering how? Let's break it down. Remember when the Indiana Fever struggled to catch a break? Let's start by taking a
makes it home. Clark pushing. Mitchell backdoor lays it in.
look at Kelsey Mitchell's journey. For 7 long years, Mitchell has been the heart and soul of the Fever, experiencing it all: the gut-wrenching losses, the empty arenas, the frustration of missing the playoffs year after year. But something's different this season. Enter a new player, Caitlin Clark, who has turned heads across the league. Mitchell has always been a scoring powerhouse, but now, she's playing at an entirely new level. Last season, Mitchell averaged a career-high 19.2 points per game. It's not just impressive, it's record-breaking. She shattered her own Fever record for most points in a single season, accumulating a staggering 767 points. But the story doesn't end there. Enter Caitlin Clark, the rookie sensation who changed everything for Mitchell and the Fever. Since Clark joined the team,
Kelsey Mitchell, the type of player you cannot give her the time and space to shoot the ball because she will knock it down.
Mitchell is hooking. Here is a second quarter. Kick out Mitchell. Straightaway three buckets.
Mitchell's game has skyrocketed. After the Olympic break, Mitchell has been on fire, averaging an incredible 24.8 points per game, ranking second in the league. Not only is that elite, but she also ranked third in field goal percentage among players attempting at least 15 shots a game, hitting 46.7% of her attempts last season. So, how did Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell become the WNBA's most dynamic duo seemingly overnight? It all comes down to chemistry. As Mitchell herself put it, "I think our pace alone is catching opponents off guard."
A lot of people don't understand that either about Caitlin. You don't know where those passes are going.
No,
Yo,
it's going to go to where she thinks you're going to score from. She's like a football
quarterback.
She's passing you into a route.
Peyton Manning.
Yep.
Indianapolis' finest.
A lot of people want to play fast, and with a young point guard, I get the best of both worlds. The combination of Mitchell's experience and Clark's youth has created a synergy that defenses can't seem to counter. They're reading each other like a book, and the results are stunning now. Picture this: Mitchell and Clark side by side, preparing for their final home game of the 2024 season against the Dallas Wings on September 15. The two put on a performance for the ages.
Balance both doing what you do and making sure she does what she does to make sure you guys keep rolling.
I just think it's based on a read because it's like, I think that me and C-Square try to do a great job of just kind of piggyback our games off one another, and I think it's just based on how teams play us.
Mitchell dropped 30 points, while Clark exploded for a career-high 35. Together, they combined for a jaw-dropping 65 points. That's more than just a game, that's a statement. But beyond the numbers, it's about the trust, the chemistry, and the mutual respect between the two. Mitchell's words say it all: "If Dallas thinks they're going to choose one, we both just have a chance to get what's ours." It's not just teammate talk, that's a warm.
Just really proud of these players for what they've done, the work they've put in, the resiliency they've shown. It's just to get that number, and again, with Kelsey Mitchell, who's never experienced that, it's just really awesome.
Warning to the rest of the league. The night wasn't just special, it was a turning point. Just when you thought you'd seen it all, Caitlin Clark decided to rewrite the WNBA record books. Picture this: September 15, 2024, the Indiana Fever are facing off against the Dallas Wings. The crowd is buzzing with excitement, but what they don't know is that they're about to witness.
Does 20 wins or 500 mean anything specific to you?
Oh man, it's a big deal. I've never accomplished something personally like that, so hats off to our group. Hats off to the season so far. I say so far because I look forward to hopefully a really good run for us in the playoffs. So I'm excited about the 20 wins. I'm grateful. I know where I started and I know where I'm at now. So
this history in the making. Clark steps onto the court, and the energy immediately shifts. Wait, this story has a twist. The first quarter ends, and Clark has just 4 points to her name. Could this be a quiet night for the star point guard? Absolutely not. Something clicks, and Clark transforms into a scoring machine. It's as if she's a video game character with cheat codes activated, draining threes, threading impossible passes, and leaving defenders helpless. Scoreboard operator can't keep up, and the statisticians are scrambling to catch all the action.
But now rookie sensations turn Caitlin Clark ready to put on a show. Her three-point jump shot is good, and the Fever inching on closer in this one. Well, guess who? Well, Clark again, you guessed it. She makes a three-point jump shot from 27 feet out to now pull within 5. And Clark just continuing to be in positions where she excels. The Fever still trailing, but finding a little bit of rhythm here in the second quarter.
By the time the final buzzer sounds, Clark has racked up an incredible 35 points, but that's just the beginning. With those points, she shatters the WNBA single-season rookie scoring record. The previous record, 744 points, held by the legendary Simone Augustus, is blown away like it was nothing, but hold on, there's even more. Clark isn't just a scoring machine, she's also a playmaker, dishing out 8 assists and proving she can dominate in every aspect of the game. It's this dual-threat capability that makes her a nightmare for opposing teams. And those three-pointers? Clark sinks 6 of them on 14 attempts. Here's where it gets even more fascinating. Clark and Kelsey Mitchell.
And as if the crowd wasn't already electrified for the home finale, Clark nails this clutch three-pointer, and Indiana is walking away with a thrilling 110-109 victory tonight, with Clark finishing the game with 35 points.
Combined for 12 of the Fever's 16 three-pointers. That's right, this dynamic duo is responsible for a staggering 75% of their team's long-range shots. As a team, the Fever aren't just winning, they're rewriting their own history. They matched their franchise record for single-game scoring and tied their season high for three-pointers made. It's as if the entire team caught whatever Clark's got. Let's zoom in on those clutch moments that make a true superstar. When Mitchell is weaving through traffic and drawing attention, it opens up pockets of space.
I think today we take away from it the fact that we were able to walk away with a win when they got chippy. I don't know, you guys been watching, it don't happen. It took some time for us to get down to the stretch of games and walk away with a W. And so I'm proud of our group for that. We had people step up when a number was called. Dee, Timmy. The list goes on, and so you can appreciate our group as a whole.
That Clark exploits with surgical precision. Are you ready for the secret sauce that makes this duo truly special? It's their chemistry. The trust they've built in such a short time is nothing short of remarkable. Clark doesn't hesitate to make risky passes because she knows Mitchell will be there. Mitchell doesn't second-guess her cuts because she trusts Clark will find her, but don't just take my word for it. Listen to what Clark herself had to say. It's hard to pick and choose when both of us are on. It puts the defense in a really...
And speaking of legends, even King James himself takes notice. LeBron James gives a shout-out to Clark and Mitchell on social media, calling them a dynamic duo. When you've got the NBA's all-time leading scorer tipping his hat to you, you know you're doing something right.
Take a look at this. These are the top 3 scorers in the WNBA since the women brought home gold in the Olympics a few weeks ago. 2 of the members are of the Indiana Fever, Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell.
A tough spot that's not just confidence, it's an understanding of how their playing styles create a perfect storm for opposing teams. And here's the kicker, this dynamic duo isn't just changing the game for themselves. Their synergy is elevating the entire team. Defenses scramble to contain Clark and Mitchell. It opens up opportunities for players like Lexi Hull and Aja Boston. Suddenly, the whole team is playing with a newfound confidence and freedom. Let's talk about the ripple effect Clark and Mitchell are creating. Picture this, 2 players not just changing their own games, but revolutionizing an entire franchise. The Indiana Fever, once struggling, are now the hottest team in the WNBA.
Kelsey Mitchell said, basketball is a language and you have to get on the same page. Me and Caitlin like to play fast and up-tempo, and I'm always going to align based on how she's playing and how she's going.
That's not just a comeback story, that's a basketball renaissance, but here's where it gets even more interesting. Clark and Mitchell aren't just lighting up the scoreboard, they're redefining what's possible in the WNBA. Their combined firepower has the league on notice. This isn't just about 2 players finding their groove, it's the birth of a new era in women's basketball. Every time Clark and Mitchell step on the court, they're not just playing a game, they're making history. So, next time you tune into a Fever game, remember, you're witnessing the future of basketball unfold right before your eyes. Do you agree? Let us know in the comments, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out.
Kelsey Mitchell is, she's special, she's unique, she's one of the fastest players on the court all the time. You get her in any type of actions where it's her speed that's gonna get her open, you can scheme for it, she's gonna be able to get a touch just because of how quick she is. And then her ability to get downhill, I mean, when she catches and if you're there, you know, you need to be moving in that direction to have a chance to keep up with her. I mean, she's shooting the ball so well right now. Caitlin and AB are drawing some attention in some of those pick and rolls, and the help side's having to come over, and it's just leaving her wide open for some great shots, and she's knocking them down, her and Lexi Hall as well.
Click the video on the screen, and we'll see you in the next one. The game is on the line. Clark steps up, draining back-to-back three-pointers late in the game to help the Fever maintain their lead. It's the kind of performance that separates the good from the great.
It has been a historic year for the WNBA. You know the Drake line, I'm the rookie and the vet. Let's start with the rookie, Caitlin Clark Kent. Superwoman, you see what I did there? She was on a tear.
And speaking of greatness, even LeBron James takes notice. The NBA's all-time leading scorer gives a shout-out to Clark and Mitchell on social media, calling them a dynamic duo. And King James himself tips his hat to you. You know you're doing something right now. Think the Olympic break was just a chance to rest and recharge? Not for Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark. These two turned the break into a launch pad, and now they're soaring to new heights. As the WNBA season resumed, all eyes were on who would come out strong. No one could have predicted the storm that Mitchell and Clark were about to unleash. Suddenly, they're everywhere, topping scoring charts, dominating highlight reels, and leaving defenders in the dust. It's as if they entered some...
They're special. I mean, those two right there can hit such big shots. There's just ice in their veins, and they've got players around them who are helping them get open, you know, setting good screens, and then moving the defense as well. I mean, Kelsey is, you know, with her ability to get downhill, you have to guard her a certain way. Then she can just pull up on a dime. Caitlin's able to, get her shot off so quick, and also get downhill and get to the rim. Those guys just make big shots. I mean, they're just two, the dynamic duo. I mean, that's who they are.
Secret basketball lab during the break and emerged as supercharged versions of themselves, and the numbers absolutely mind-blowing. Since the Olympic break, Mitchell has been averaging an astounding 24.8 points per game. That's not just good, it's elite. It's got Kelsey Mitchell sitting comfortably as the second highest scorer in the entire league during this stretch, and Caitlin Clark? She's right on her heels, averaging 24.3 points, ranking third in the league. We're not just talking about a dynamic duo here, we're talking about a 1-2 punch that's knocking the rest of the WNBA off its feet. But wait, it gets even better. Mitchell has been the model of consistency, scoring 20 or more points in every game since the Olympic break, except one. Meanwhile, Clark isn't just scoring
and getting the recognition that you deserve, but maybe weren't necessarily getting before.
No, it's a great question. I think that I think the reality of it is that I don't think people would know what else he squared, so shout out to Caitlin. That's just the reality. I think she's done an unbelievable job of bringing, obviously her own fans and people that support her. But, for me, I kind of laugh at it and I embrace it at the same time because I've always kind of flew under the radar. I've always kind of been that person or that player, very conservative, very an introvert. So now I get to see the flip side of it. And it's kind of funny. I can laugh about it because I know it's come from a genuine place, but I embrace it from a standpoint of like people not guaranteed to see me play, and now that they do, I just hope I do right by it,
She's making history. She's blown past the single-season rookie scoring record and the all-time single-season assist record. Get this, she didn't just break them, she shattered them. Since the All-Star break, the Indiana Fever have been the hottest team in the WNBA, putting up a scorching 90.9 points per game. Think that's a coincidence? Not a chance. Mitchell and Clark aren't just putting up impressive individual stats, they're elevating the entire team. Opposing teams are scrambling, trying to figure out how to stop not one, but two players who are absolutely on fire. Double team Mitchell, and Clark burns you. Focus on Clark, and Mitchell makes you pay. It's a nightmare for opposing coaches and a dream for Fever fans, but don't just take my word for it. Listen to Fever head coach Christy Sides, who said, "They've got ice in their veins. When the pressure's on, these two don't just perform, they thrive." Ice in their veins, that's one thing. But what happens when that ice melts into pure fire? Mitchell and Clark aren't just thriving under pressure, they're creating a perfect storm on the court, leaving defenses in shambles. But how exactly do their individual styles mesh to form this unstoppable force? Let's break it down. You've got Kelsey Mitchell.
You've changed the world in so many ways. You've done it with so much grace. And I'm so happy to take the floor with you, to be a part of this experience. I want to tell you to give yourself some grace, kid. You've done a lot of things that not a lot of people can do. And from me to you, I'm always going to be a fan. I'm always going to be in your corner. I'm always going to be in your backcourt.
The seasoned pro, with lightning-quick agility and a deadly pull-up jumper. Then there's Caitlin Clark, the phenom, with court vision that seems almost superhuman. On paper, you might think it would take time for these two to click. But here's where it gets interesting, they're defying basketball logic. Picture this, Mitchell is blazing down the court, her defender struggling to keep up. In the blink of an eye, Clark has already spotted the opportunity. The ball whizzes through the air, finding Mitchell in perfect stride. It's like they've got some kind of telepathic connection. But it's not magic, it's the result of two incredibly skilled players whose abilities perfectly complement each other. Clark's ability to read the court isn't just good, it's game-changing. She's not just seeing what's happening now, she's anticipating 3 moves ahead. And Mitchell? Her agility isn't just about speed, it's about creating space where none should exist. When you combine Clark's vision with Mitchell's movement, you get an offensive partnership that's giving defenders nightmares. But here's the kicker, it's not just about their individual skills, it's about how they make each other better. Caitlin Clark's presence on the court creates new opportunities for Kelsey Mitchell. Defenders can no longer focus solely on Mitchell with Clark's deep-range shooting threat.